Here with the men and the women who are really the heart and soul of one of the greatest, most admired, and most successful companies in the history of the world, frankly, the one and only McDonald's. I've gone there a couple of times. And I'm honored to stand before you as the very first former McDonald's fry cook ever to become president of the United States. And I actually was there for about 30 minutes, and that was 30 minutes longer than Kamala was there. Right? Despite her job at McDonald's, that didn't work out too well. And the person at McDonald's that informed us off the record that she never worked there, whoever you are, we appreciate that. That was very nice.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Mia.
I'm Kamal.
I'm the skeptic.
I'm Kim.
So,
Tonight on the new party, we are going to be avoiding the Epstein file discussion. Yay! You guys are in the place tonight where you hear about some other things. I'm just kidding. What am I talking about? We are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about MTG versus Trump at some point tonight. But nevertheless, Trump has been very feisty, man. He has been ripping into some reporters. We're going to play the first clip. He called somebody a pig today. Let me tell you, selfishly, I know some of y'all don't like Trump, but I was telling the team in the chat that for content reasons, I love Trump. He's so entertaining.
We've got to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan chiefs.
Sir,
Yeah,
if
Jennifer,
there's nothing incriminating in the file, sir, why are you acting as if
Quiet, begin.
on Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings.
Jesus. Would you have thought you've seen a day, skeptic, where Trump would call somebody a pig?
Yeah, I mean, the way he talks to women, I feel like he's never really been respectful to women, which to me seems to be, you know, when men only deal with women because it's a transactional thing, they tend to have that type of like attitude towards women. If you can't actually get a woman because of your personality and because they actually like you, then it becomes about you paying for their way or them using you, and then you treat them as such. I feel like the red pill does this also. They treat women as an object because they objectify women, and women transactionally use the men.
No, you're not wrong. I was just saying that about them. They're a funny bunch, but I don't know if it's Trump's kind of Trump is kind of personable, though. I mean, I don't know. But those guys like Myron Gaines, I know what you're saying. Okay, so he not only went off on that lady, he went off on this person he went off on this reporter too, and it was with the Saudi prince. Let's hear what he had to say. 1 second.
Pretty good.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. You're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me. But he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax. And ABC's, your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something.
So why not just sign it now?
I think the license should be taken away from ABC because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump and then Trump wins the election in a landslide, that means obviously your news is not credible and you're not credible as a reporter. So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein, who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep of the fund guy was with him all.
So, Enzo, what do you think about what he just said? And how did you feel about him having the Saudi prince there, despite all the controversy surrounding him?
I mean, Donald Trump is Donald Trump. He uses First Amendment right just how everybody else does. I don't really care when him going after ABC, when again, yes, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, all these news outlets will cover anything Donald Trump is a negative light. Doesn't matter if he does anything good for the country, bad for the country, regardless, that's going to be negative. So I don't disagree with how he came across, especially with the first question that she asked. It was pretty disingenuous in the way that she asked it. Yes, there is controversies about Saudi Arabia. Yes, there are issues with Saudi Arabia and the journalists that did go missing. At the end of the day, they still are a head of state for a foreign country that the United States is still meeting with. There has to be some type of decorum. There has to be some type of communication with these countries, like how everybody lost their mind the other day when the president of Syria was at the White House. At the end of the day, he's still the president. They still are heads of state. They are still going to meet with our president. And as the old saying goes, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I could honestly care less about all of it.
Mia, what do you think about him having the Saudi prince there? The biggest thing or highlight of the day was people said for, I would say, almost 4 years now, he hasn't been invited to the White House. This was his first trip. What do you think about the diplomacy of it all?
I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. He is obviously representative of their royal family over there in Saudi Arabia. And I mean, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. How many people has our government disappeared? I mean, it's a little disingenuous and weird for us to be like super concerned about a journalist. And it's kind of funny because we traded a national arms dealer, a Russian arms dealer, for Brittany Griner when she knowingly violated the law in Russia, and nobody blinked an eye for that. So, I mean, it's super weird that people care this much about the journalist. It kind of is what it is. I don't know why I don't really care. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, people are crashing out. They're mad that we're not talking about Epstein. They're mad. You know what I mean? It's like you can never please people. I agree with your point, Mia. It's all theater at this point. But what's not theater, and this is a topic for my two Latino